Greetings, everybody. Greetings, warriors. Greetings, champions. Today in front of us, we have Andrew Pek, and he's known as a consultant, and he's an internationally recognized executive advisor. He's also an entrepreneur and a best-selling author in the field of creativity, innovation, and design thinking. He has coached and educated thousands of students, professionals, and the top executives throughout the world on how to start up, grow, and transform their business. Andrew, hello, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's a pleasure.
Andrew, where are you calling us from? What state?
I'm calling you from connecting with you and your audience from New York, just outside of New York City, about 15 miles in the Hudson Valley, where it's a
Oh,
beautiful day.
nice. I had the pleasure to visit New York for the US Open, and we had a pleasure to also watch our favorite, Djokovic performing, and he didn't let me down. He won that time. So I was very pleased. I'm like, New York, you got it. You took care
Yeah.
of my guy. So Andrew, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing, and maybe like, or where your ancestors are from, because I think you have like more, European roots out there.
Yeah, sure. Well, as we talked once before, my grandmother's name is Ilona, and my parents and my grandparents are originally from Hungary. They grew up. My mother's family grew up near Budapest, which is the capital city of Hungary. My
Yep.
father grew up in the country in a town not too far from Győr. Not too many people know how to pronounce that, of course, because it's Hungarian. But they immigrated to the United States in the early and mid 1950s,
Mm.
where I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, a very not only industrial city, but home to many other Eastern and Western Europeans. So it was a perfect place for them and myself to grow up. That's where I spent my childhood, and then of course went on to university, where I started my professional careers. Gosh, the quick 3x5 card is, started out in marketing and organizational behavior, working for big companies like British Petroleum. Then I was a partner at Accenture for many years, advising top leaders in corporations on strategy and organizational change. Went back into industry, where I ran the innovation group for Pfizer, consumer healthcare, for a number of years. And then from that point, started my own business dedicated to helping empower entrepreneurs and innovators and change makers to be more skilled, more resilient, more capable professionals.
That's excellent. I haven't had actually anybody from somebody that connected with my name, or like, this Eastern Europe, the story, or Western. So, and, it's so good to know now we're going to be like a best buddies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's why I love your work and your story. I can relate to it. Not that I've gone through that specifically, but I certainly heard it from my parents. Eastern Europeans, generally speaking, this is maybe not true with everyone, but hardworking, striving to make a better life,
Yes.
very focused on helping themselves develop, taking responsibility. My father used to always say, you know what your responsibilities are. So, my parents really gave that really strong and wonderful foundation to follow my purpose and my passions.
That's absolutely right. We were like hungry, not spiritually, but emotionally, to strive and do something for best. And this is something that is rooted in me so much that, I need to get up hungry to go for life, for what life has for me. And that's what I want our viewers to also, to get some kind of stories from my guests, just like you, Andrew, to learn something, so what they can do for themselves. And Andrew, you are like consultant. Tell us, or tell, all of us, how you can help, or what do you do that that involves the helping, and how you push and encourage others.
Sure. Well, as I mentioned in my little sort of quick sketch, I have spent most of my career advising top leaders, gosh, over 5,000 plus top global CEOs and senior executives, helping them to become more innovative, helping to develop new products and services, helping them to become more high performing work cultures. And based on that experiences, all the years that I've accumulated, understanding what consulting is, how to build deep, trusted relationships, how to build more empathy with clients, not only to grow, of course, your business where there's a commercial aspect, but to have really fulfilling and in good relationships that you know you're delivering really excellent work and having meaningful impact on others. I've developed a course and other mentoring programs, including books, to help support other emerging or seasoned consultants or advisors or entrepreneurs who are seeking to build stronger relationships with their clients or grow relationships with their clients. And so it's been great fun. So that's why people often refer to me as the consultant's consultant. So I'm advising other advisors in helping them be more successful with their clients.
That's awesome. What are the most important, like let's say, 3 pillars of encouraging and strengthening the relationship with the clients?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ilona. There's 2 major sort of generalities when you think about building deep relationships with your clients. It's a combination of business currency and social currency. The business piece is what you know. It might be strategy, it might be technology, it might be finance or investment. Could be any number of things. That's your expertise or I like to call it your trade craft, your little secret sauce, right? And then there's the social currency, which is, frankly, in my opinion, the most important. It's how you listen, how you communicate, how you build empathy and trust with your clients. And I've identified several different what I call power skills in order to do that. So one of them, for example, is how do you focus your mind? One of the difficulties that any professional, regardless if you are in consulting or not, is we're so distracted, right? We never seem to accomplish what we want to achieve with our business or our relationships. And so we're often just reacting to what's coming our way. So one of the things that I teach is helping people focus their mind, focus their mindset, even employing different techniques like meditation or affirmations to help people understand what is it that they're trying to accomplish, who is it that they're trying to serve, and apply some of those kinds of techniques. So that's a very important and starting point as far as a power skill to help build those deep relationships.
Yes, especially nowadays when everybody's locked down, we feel that we are in need of more than just, business skills or this hard skills. So we need to do more beyond that, what we've known how to function. And Andrew, finish, please, the sentence. Success is
finding, discovering, cultivating, and living your purpose.
That's interesting. That's very, very powerful. And of course, there is no right or wrong answers, but this one is very influential that I'm going to add into my book as well too. So I needed it for me. I collect those items too, because I like to listen and get advice from the people who are qualified, who have achieved something, who have also, had a great impact and also outcome as well from their work. And I like to always listen to people who are good at their areas and ask their recommendations, their advice from them. And you are the perfect right now for people who are listening, who are looking or maybe planning to start some business. So what would you recommend those people who are maybe hungry to start their own business? Maybe we're consumed by this pandemic that right now they're about to burst their new ideas. So what would you recommend them right now?
Yeah, sure. Well, just as the sentence completion, success is really trying to do first an evaluation of the things that you know, you love, and you feel like is your superpower. I know people use that phrase a little bit, and it sounds a little woo-woo kind of thing, but it's really understanding what calls you that you feel like you can offer to others, right? And being clear on that purpose or that mission. And then why I said cultivating is then really understanding who needs that, who would benefit from your knowledge or your service or your capabilities or the products that you might produce physically or digitally or some other form, right? And cultivate that marketplace by understanding who is it that you serve, really deeply understanding what they need, what their pain points are, what their desires are, and then coming up with the right way in which to attract them. It might be referred to as marketing, but it's really generating interest in what you might have to offer, and then serving them continuously in ways that benefit them, that really results in a nice mutual relationship. Once you've mastered that, even if it's one client, right, then you can perfect it and look for ways to scale it with many other clients. And the process of course, creativity and innovation, design thinking really helps you to do that, is come up with other ways to offer it to many more people. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Andrew, I know that there's a lot of people out there that get intimidated by the successful people. But could you please let us know what were your biggest failure in life and how did you come out of it? And what have you learned from life, from your failures, from your mistakes?
Well, sure. And and it's not one failure, it's many failures. I've had many setbacks, both professionally and personally, that I've gone through, some that I have bared full responsibility, where I've taken risk and it just failed miserably. So, gosh, even when I started my business almost 17 years ago, I had a great deal of success coming off of a corporate experience, lots of knowledge, lots of great relationships, but I didn't necessarily know all the aspects of starting up a business. I didn't raise enough money and invest enough money to have adequate cash flow. I didn't hire the right people. I hired some really nice people. People were more friends than were the right skills. And therefore I learned the hard way that I needed to, if I was going to be in a successful, even though I was a successful advisor, the shoemaker's children that don't always wear shoes, didn't necessarily translate to I would be a successful entrepreneur. So I made some mistakes early on that even though we had success, it was inconsistent. And then, of course, it was unfortunately timed when the market crashed back in 2008 that it was painful for not only my own pocketbook, but for others whom I brought on board that I had to eventually let go. It was difficult. And that stress and the challenge, taught me the importance of kind of going back to the basics. How might I build a successful business in the ways in which I try to teach other people to do so. And I think one of the power skills that I talk about in my program is it's called pivot with change. So be true to your values, be true to who you are and what you stand for, but be flexible and adaptable to the changes that take place. So this challenging circumstances that we've all endured and have lived with over the past year is a perfect example. You can either choose it to see it as a problem, right, that is coming for you and that there's nothing you can do and you're constantly reacting to, or you say, maybe this is an opportunity for me to rethink, reinvent, renew my commitment to the things that I think I can offer. So you'll see, I believe, in the forthcoming months, many other new entrepreneurs, many new innovations that are starting to emerge for those who recognize this is an opportunity, not a danger. Does that make sense?
That's interesting. And Andrew, before we conclude, can you give one advice to people out there who have tried and got disappointed in lives, who wanted to do something, who are so hungry to make a difference, but they can't? What would you advise them right now?
Well, it's belief in themselves. I think they have to never give up. Every one of us, you, I, and many others who've had achieved success, all have had our setbacks and failures. And there's that I think quote, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. uh, you know, Believing in yourself, never giving up on that belief will help you to stay resilient. And at all else fails, phone a friend who's been through a similar situation who can help support and encourage you, because you don't have to do it alone. There are many great other people out there who I know are willing to, including myself, encourage people to follow their purpose and their passion.
That's excellent. That was Andrew Pek with us with his message, believe in yourself. It was Ilona from the IP Resilience. And we see you next time. Stay healthy and stay well.